This is RPMMO Radio.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
A podcast all about roleplay and MMORPGs.
I like what you got. Good job.
With your hosts, Ashen Phoenix, Sid, Jazz, Sibh'Bae, and Kishmas.
Everybody off. We need to go on a quick adventure.
Greetings and welcome. This is RPMMO Radio. It's good to be back. Appreciate everybody joining us live at twitch.tv/RPMMO Radio. From now on, every Saturday at 7 o'clock every week. You heard it right, every single week. We're going to start doing it all the time. All the time. And of course, I don't have to introduce people because our new intro does it for us, but we're going to go ahead and give a special welcome to our two new hosts, Kishmas and sort of Sibh'Bae, who's been here once before. And Kishmas, who's called in.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. It's good
Welcome,
to have you
guys.
here. So we're going to go kind of talk a little bit about, them and find out why these two assholes are here now. I mean, if they got to have something to bring to the table, otherwise, it's not much, but literally I asked like 10 or 12 other people, and finally they're the ones that said yes. It was...
I think it's testosterone. Is that what it is?
It was really running towards the bottom of the barrel by the time I got
It's
to
great
them.
to be introduced as the dregs of your choices.
That's right. Oh, wow. I mean, we're all about honesty here, So if I'm just being honest.
You can't be Jazz and Sib. I mean, you just can't.
Well, no, the lack of chesticles is pretty much precludes them of that.
Need to up testosterone levels a little bit.
There's Jazz. She's amused, you can already tell. But no, appreciate everybody tuning in. Of course, like I said, we're going to be doing this every week from now on, both live and, as a podcast after the fact, which you can get on Applecast and Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean. Usually that'll come up out Saturday or Monday if you're doing the podcast after the fact. We are, of course, a college show, so if you want to join us, you can join our Discord at rpmmoradio.com/Discord. Just throw yourself into the caller waiting room. Maybe use the little caller details chat to let us know what you want to say beforehand. And before the end of the show, probably fairly quickly, we'll get to you and see what you got to say. Today we're mostly going to be, like I said, finding out what these two guys bring to the table. They're both really good people. I've known one for a very long time. The other one, Kishmas, I've known it's been about a year now, hasn't it? Is it give or take?
I'd say March.
Yeah, was it March?
Last year.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not very good with time. But long enough to know he's a decent person. I mean, not like all the time, but he's
probably
all
should
right.
stop talking now.
He's okay. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're really looking forward. We've got some great ideas coming up for the entire year. A few new little things. One of them will be that we now have a Patreon, and I know it's always a money grab, but I've waited. We haven't done this before, and the reason I waited was because, to be honest with you, before now, the show really wasn't worth doing for a Patreon. I wouldn't have felt comfortable even asking for money. And even still, it's not that big a deal. It's just something that might help us kind of fund everything. Everybody here, of course, we're doing this because we love it, and for the fun of it. We love roleplay. We love talking to people. We love passing on what knowledge we may or may not have that you may or may not always agree with, which, of course, you can call in and talk about.
Like a proper exiled Jedi Masters.
Right, yeah. Yeah, let's go play Grey Jedi from now on. That's what we're gonna do. That's it. If we get high enough on Patreon, we'll all have Sibh'Bae and Kishmas play Grey Jedi, and a little bit of their soul will die.
A little?
Yeah,
most of it.
You're gonna have to make me do that.
I got a shiny dollar for you. But no, you can visit us at patreon.com/RPMMO Radio. We've got a few different tiers. Just it's we appreciate it. We got $1, $5, 10, 20. It's nothing out of the, nothing crazy. It's like, yeah, and so we're going to mortgage our house. Everything will go towards the show. It's not going to go towards hookers and blow as I originally had hoped it would. But it turns out people would rather actually have it go back to the show.
I suspect Sib would have an issue with that.
I would.
Oh, she's perfectly fine with the blow. Oh, you meant the hookers.
No.
Oh, yeah. No. Okay. Oh, I mean, one of...
Oh, wait, no hookers? I guess I'll leave.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, one of them was going to be a midget dressed like a hobbit.
Oh.
Stuff
right.
Nightmares.
How about dressed like a... Hold. Oh my God.
Why are you asking me?
Halflings.
That's
What
the
about
same.
one dressed as...
That's what a hobbit is.
No, they're not the same.
That's literally the exact same thing.
Well, you could be either talking about Lord of the Rings or Dungeons and Dragons.
But it's the same thing.
It's not
same
the same
thing, yeah. Except hobbits have disgusting feet.
Well, the orcs in Lord of the Rings did say, find the halfling.
Exactly.
Oh, I thought you were my friend, Sibh'Bae.
Well, he would know too because he dresses like Legolas at times, so he would know all about it.
Sometimes you'll find me at Ren fairs.
Mm-hmm. And he makes a good one. I'm not just saying that. He's not like, I'm Legolas. He actually has the
I think they'll give me
has the features for it. I like to walk on top of snow.
Which I did at Mount Rainier. It was pretty cool.
Oh, you've been up there? I've been up there.
Been up there.
Yeah. Yeah, those 20-foot snowdrifts are fucking terrifying.
Oh, my mistake. It was St. Helens, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. My dad actually lives up near Mount Rainier. Apparently, if you've ever been to Rainier, that big outpost they had on the top of it, completely off topic for roleplay at all, they tore that down. That big center at the top. Yeah. He said they tore it apart. It got so old.
They built a new one across from St. Helens. That's the one I got to visit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's been up there since, before Helens blew. So that was, it was fun. Anyway, so what was I? Oh, yeah, Patreon. So you give $1. If you do that, we're actually going to have new statuses on our Discord that if you give anything to the Patreon, you'll get a little Patreon like, we'll change your color of your name. That's
super fancy.
I mean, there's not a lot we can do. I don't have swag or anything, but $5, we'll mention your name, mention you as a Patreon donor on the show, which, anybody, even $1, we will appreciate. It's all on there. I don't feel like, feel like a weirdo going through and being like, hey, we have enough people at the end of bridges, in overpasses begging for money as it is. So I'm not going to beg for it, but I will mention it every now and again. I don't know, and it's gotten so bad here. They're actually shipping them into our area because other cities can't handle it, and they think for some reason we can. No, we don't care about the homeless. Oh, maybe that's just me. But no, visit us at patreon.com/RPMMORadio. If you've got extra money, we know your money's hard to come by everywhere. We understand that. If you appreciate what we do, if you like what we do, throw us $1. If you can do more, throw us more than $1. Everything would be appreciated, and we will absolutely spend everything towards the hosting of the show. If it goes over what that costs, eventually we'll hold on to that so that we can upgrade people's equipment and upgrade equipment for the show, make it sound better. So far, I've put in probably about $1,000 or so into equipment and everything else. I mean, it's been over the course of a year. It's not been like, by the way, kids, Christmas is canceled. Daddy needs to do a podcast. Enjoy your chocolate coal.
Chocolate coal.
Yeah. Okay, that one video of that little shit going around throwing coal and then pulling down the Christmas tree, I still say that thing was staged. I know people have seen that. I call bullshit on that stupid kid.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No one lets their child do that.
No.
Like, come on.
And
anything for clicks, bro.
Yeah, that's it. And if it was, excellent troll, because the first time I saw it, I was like, you fucking little monster. Okay, Jazz, and anybody else that hasn't seen it, what it is, it's Christmas. Kid goes to his stocking, and there's coal in it. And he's like, what's this? Well, it's coal. You've been naughty. He pulls the head off of a stuffed Santa and is like, you think this is funny? Throws it across the room, and then he's like, this isn't funny. And the parents are like, calm down, calm down. So he grabs the tree and, like, pulls the whole thing down in the living room. And that's where it cuts at. And I kind of can believe it.
No, I totally believe it.
It just seems a little too over the top to have been, because the parents aren't like, I don't know, maybe it's just because of who I am. I'd be like, you little shit, would be the last thing you hear before the camera cut out.
Yeah. I probably would have woke up a week later had I done that in front of my mom.
Yeah.
And then I woke up a week later from that once my dad figured it out.
Yeah, yeah, we don't believe in grounding. I mean, unless you count on consciousness grounding, then I guess we do. So
I have missing time. What is with this?
Yeah, there's things we missed while we were at Christmas. But by the way, everybody, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Unless, of course, it's already been terrible, in which case, you really thought, like, midnight was going to change the shit fest of the previous year and make it better? Ah, you're so dumb.
Hidden with that reality.
That's right. This is real. That's why we roleplay, is to keep reality out.
Yeah.
So, usually we go into what we've been doing in roleplay, but we're going to skip that for right this second, because I would rather us get to know the two new fellas and what it is that they bring to the show, what it is why they're here. I mean, other than the fact that they were all that's left. No, in all honesty, they were actually my first two and kind of only choices, because I've known one. Kishmas, I've had enough conversations and stuff and seen his role play to know that he's a solid dude, and one of the few people that has actually done baby role play and not made me want to smash my face into the keyboard repeatedly until I black out. It is always so bad to do baby role play, but him and Nathala, his pretend wife, they've got like the greatest role play relationship since like Legends Han Solo in Princess Leia.
I don't think I've seen any other, not trying to brag, I don't think I've seen any other IC relationship that's lasted as long as ours.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, the he's her boss. You know how awful that always goes? I mean, shoot, just when it comes to the podcast, Sib is always down my ass.
Oh.
I mean...
I'm the boss, applesauce.
Yes, that's what I was...
There you go.
All your ideas are great, and I love you.
Exactly.
See? That's all you got to do, guys. That's what you got to do. And see, that's what Kishmas has figured out. No.
It's not as hard as people think it is either.
It really isn't. It's being two grown-ass adults and she's actually married, right?
Yeah.
So since we're talking this, I guess we're going to do you first, Kishmas. Sibh'Bae, you should be used to being sidelined. So you're all right. What?
Quite used to it by now, yes.
You're used to it by now. We got other things going on. Me and Kishmas are a thing now. So,
yeah.
But
sorry, Sib.
I will lament the passing of the bromance and stay here silently.
Shut up, Elf.
That's about right.
So yeah, we'll go with Kishmas and kind of what he does and how long he's been role playing. How long have you been role playing, man? I actually don't even know that. Probably should have asked that before I invited you here, huh?
Wow, I'm just going in blank now. Well, I really started off in like a geopolitical simulator called Nation States, which I was just like, oh, cool, I'll just play this, talk to some people about politics, which is, I'm actually against that now. Fuck that, I'm not doing that anymore.
No, yeah.
It causes way more headaches than regular RP. But it all started, I was going through, as my nation, I was going through these regions which you can join. And there's this one that had roleplay. I'm like, what's this? So I go into it, and they're doing all these IC political discussions, conferences, wars, elections, and all that. And I thought, oh, that's a pretty cool idea. I think I'll try to, do that. And it just kind of stemmed off from that. I then moved on to a game called DayZ.
Yeah,
which is
DayZ,
a zombie survival simulator.
I've never heard of that first one, DayZ. At least
but there was a very popular at the time called DayZ RP, and that was the central hub for all RP in that game. And it was a really good time. It was kind of different too because it wasn't text. Because a lot of people did voice, and they do like voice acting things, but I couldn't do that. I'm not gonna try to act like some old guy or some Slavic guy or something.
In Soviet Russia, I remember things. Things would make you cry. Yes, like that. Yeah.
And then when you hear all the bad accents like I did, I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that anymore.
Yeah, everybody sounds like Yakov
the
Smirnoff.
Yeah.
Are you trying to say he's got a bad accent? I know, I agree with you. It's okay.
Voice actors, they were not.
No,
Yeah,
no.
There's a reason why they're playing a video game instead of making one.
Yeah.
But no, after that, I went back to ESO because I already played ESO since the beginning. And I wasn't really a big fan of it because, it was vanilla ESO. I'm not going to go into detail on how awful that was. You couldn't die. That's all you need to know. You couldn't die your armor. That's awful.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. You couldn't. You also couldn't be in the same instance as anybody. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was awful.
even like after I came back before 1 Tamriel came out, it was just such a bitch to get through the phasing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back. I started RPing in the Daggerfall Covenant with a couple of merc guilds because that was hip back then. But
They're all the merc guilds are always they'll
up
never
there.
not be popular. Yeah.
they're like it's like fucking fleas. They don't stop coming.
Yeah. Jazz.
Then I missed.
Sell swords aplenty.
That's right.
Still swords.
It's like that for a reason because it really is easiest. It's hard to really make a specific guild and also to keep enough people interested that they keep coming back or that you don't run out of your roleplay. Like EverQuest 2, towards the end, if you had a specific, like if you tried to do a Dunmer only guild, fuck it, there's just no way. Okay, wait, take EverQuest 2, that one you might have been able to still get away with because everybody was a Dunmer. But if you tried to do some other race, there's just no way that was going to happen.
A certain troll comes to mind.
Yeah. So is ESO the only MMO you've ever played, Kishmas?
No.
Okay, so what else have you played?
I've played ESO. I've played Lord of the Rings Online, of course.
Ah, okay. That one actually really is good.
Tolkien
So
nerd,
good.
so,
yeah,
yeah.
but it's so good for roleplay.
Definitely.
I'm not a big enough, Lord of the Rings fan for it to have kept me in. It's because it's definitely a game.
Some of
like
the RP
EQ2.
fellowships are really good.
Yeah, it's showing its age too.
It is because I tried going back and I just can't go with the mechanics. I can feel its age. I'm like, I can't play it too long anymore.
Yeah.
Or else I'll burn out after a week. But
yeah.
no, I tried RP in Lord of the Rings. Tried it with Durden's folk, or I think that's what their fellowship is called, which was Dwarf RP. That was fun.
Yeah, I bet that'd
Really
be a lot of fun.
until you had to learn Khazdu, which is the Dwarvish language, and I was like,
Oh Jesus!
I never passed Spanish in high school, so I'm not gonna do this.
It's like having to learn Klingon in Star Trek Online. It's like, yeah,
God.
Kopla.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, that's we're gonna need to get into that sometime. How that like, I mean, there's an expectation like servants of the temple, or tribunal. You gotta kind of know the lore for the Dunmer and things like that.
Right.
But we don't ask that you like memorize how to like all 36 lessons of Vivek, for example, or but that's a big ask. Asking somebody to learn a fake language that's completely worthless in any other instance.
Right.
That's a pretty big ask of anybody.
It's dedication.
Yeah, I mean, and it's bad enough too. Like those I know we've talked about it before. Those assholes that would be like, yeah, I'm hardcore roleplay. I only translate into the Dark Elf language and then only talk in that if I'm talking Dark Elf.
Thing is, the only Dark Elf language there is in ESO is fan-made Dunmeri.
Right.
Then you have the old Aldmerries and Drow. Yeah.
The Drow language is often what people will use as if that's what they did. I'm saying there was 2 or 3 people, Jazz, that we bumped into over our years of EverQuest 2 that were like, they would literally only type that. It's like, our characters all understand this language, dipshit. It's not our fault that we have, I don't know, a life that we don't actually have learned it forward and backwards. You know this
Yeah,
better than
it was
English.
amazing that they were just like, you have to do this.
And then they
I
got
was like,
pissed off when nobody role played with them after a while.
Yeah.
There was like 2 people that were like, "Oh, you're so elite," which is usually where it ended. But yeah, they didn't last. They don't last too long with that attitude because most people are like, just chill out. It's all right. So,
Or then you got those corner dwellers in the taverns.
but
Oh,
Found in
that's my
every
favorite
MMO
type
ever.
of RP right there.
I'm an assassin though.
Gotta lower my hood and take a puff from my pipe.
Found in every RP game ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
A
The
Chance of
drive-ins
Rain in the chat
and-
says Lord of the Rings Online or RP is the nerdiest RP you could ever be in.
Goddamn right.
Probably true, but I gotta say that game, when it comes to that the music system that they have where you can actually create like music and stuff like that and play it in the game, that's pretty fucking cool.
That is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's, most people don't have that kind of stuff anymore.
Yep.
Let's see here.
My professor actually played a lot of Lotro, and he tried to get me to do it for years. I wouldn't do it. And he sent me a video of him and his band. They actually wrote their music and then performed it. I was like, you guys are uber nerds, but I respect it.
We're all nerds if we're playing pretend.
Oh, yeah.
That's very
Guess
true.
what?
It was impressive.
It's the best part.
Yeah. So is that what else have you had there? Is just those 2 or is there more? What's your
what's your
resume?
definition of an MMO? Because
One's like
are you talking
that,
like ones like that? Okay.
kind of, yeah, or anything you may have if you actually have role played in other things too.
I've
but-
only ever completely role played in Lotro and ESO.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't think I couldn't ever role play in WoW. No, thank you.
Ooh.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
That is a wise choice, sir.
Yeah, not unless you like
Like I love WoW lore, but the RP is just no.
Yeah, in
RP is just no. I like that.
yeah, I'm hoping we can actually, that's one of the things I want to do, is I want to reach out to some of the games that we're not familiar with and find people from those communities so we could get their
Right.
take on it, because I'm like you. I recently tried like the 14-day trial of World of Warcraft, and I went to the roleplay server. I think I said it before our shows ended, and I found that the rape tavern that they were all talking about in Goldshire, and another group of people, they tried to find that, and like they because of an article that we had read, and they said they couldn't find it over at LBR, and they clearly didn't go to the server I was in, because there was easily 30 or 40 people in there, and the word rape came up across my screen more than once. So
Yeah, you don't
it's
wanna-
alive and well. Yeah, and you really do.
Yeah.
If you play a human, you have to go right through the middle of that. Just
It sucks because it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I like Elwyn Forest. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's a beautiful place. I like the landscape. When you go to Goldshire, it's a completely different atmosphere. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on.
It's sticky and gross. It's like going to a movie theater with Pee Wee Herman. It's just really, really uncomfortable for everybody. And for anybody that doesn't know that reference, look it up. So that's cool. Yeah. So you've never done like Dungeons and Dragons and that kind of like, that wasn't your first experience with roleplay. You really only found it over the internet, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I did play Dungeons and Dragons Online, Neverwinter, but they were like,
Yeah, that's just a game.
Yeah.
That's not. I mean, you can role play in that.
I mean, I remember as a little kid, my dad would try to get me into it, but I was like, no, I want to play G.I. Joes.
Yeah, I did that. Which now that I think about it, that was probably my first real role playing, because I did that with Legos and me and my buddies, and we had stories and basically ripped off Star Trek and things like that as kids. We actually combined, if I remember right, one of our first things was we liked X-Men, we liked Star Trek, so it was mutants in space was what we played with our Legos. It was actually a lot of fun. Mutants in space.
My brother and myself used to do He-Man and G.I. Joe like combo, because he
Yeah.
had G.I. Joe toys, I had He-Man toys, and it was pretty
Yeah,
fun.
we had those too. I probably lost several GI Joes to collapsing sand pits. Is you dig as a kid, you dig the little
You
tunnel.
always
and
dig
you're
that hole. It's like
the-
you need a Starlight pit.
Yeah, you need that fox. Yeah, it's like the foxhole, and it's like, oh no, you slam on the top. Oh, cave in. It's awful. There's no survivors. Thank you for your service. So, going on with Kishmas here a little bit more. Sorry, we're all snotty as hell. I don't know if anybody else is, but
Yeah, I'm a little snotty. I've been muting my mic just to sniff.
yeah, I'm getting over a sinus infection, which I don't think I fully beat before my antibiotics run out, which means it's gonna come back with a vengeance like a real bitch and just punch me right in the snot locker about Monday or Tuesday if it didn't go away.
Yep.
So he's with Kishma. His main character is Roger. He's dark elf. He plays a few dirty NY here and there, which I don't know why he bothers with it.
Hey now.
He's just filthy. But
I have a crafter, man.
he really does. And I know Jazz will back me up. Jazz and our characters, our relationship roleplay was actually pretty solid. But a lot of that came from the fact that we had also been friends for years before our characters managed to actually get to that point. And I don't think you've probably been playing that long, but you found Nathala, and you guys, I mean, how did that all come about? Because seriously, you guys have
how did Raj and Neth come together?
Well, it starts with you two becoming friends first, I would assume. So let's go with that. Like, how did you guys met? I guess in the temple or the servants.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I always start off as friends with everyone. We're doing relationship RP, any type of RP. I like to be friends with everyone to get to know them out of the character. With Nathala, it was really weird because I wasn't really that active because I had a main at the time, which is now my alt since Raj is my main now. I know I was a recruit when Raj and Neth met in character. I don't remember too much details about their relationship until we were at a healing class held by an old, I think the rank at the time was a mistress. And
the
right next to Mortal, those waterfalls to get to the Clockwork City, right?
Yeah.
That area has been really iconic in Raj and Neth's relationship because that's where, they had their first date. That's where they first took Marina. That's where they, other details I won't get into, but but it's basically their main picnic spot.
It's their go-to, it's the cheesy romance spot. But, yeah, I mean, come on, it's role play. It's got to be. You have to have some cheese.
Oh, there's always cheese. Oh, Raj is very corny.
It's everything we wish in real life we actually had time for this shit. But unlike real life, traveling to the middle of nowhere in a game is a lot easier.
Yes, it costs less too.
Can I just say, the ladies appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Even role playing, they do. So okay, and that's how you guys you really got to know it. Yeah, and I agree. And you gotta the OOC relationship and friendship, because you're tying your character to another person, and I don't know how many times we've seen somebody just jump into that and been like, oh, it turns out he was actually a serial killer I saw on CNN 2 nights ago. No wonder he was so flaky.
But no, what really got them together was I remember this vividly. It was after one of the tribunal sermons in Mournhold, and there used to be like a flaming Nick's Corner Club after party or whatever. And Raj was kind of like, I'll go flirt with some chicks and then go home. Well, he was flirting with Neth for the longest time, and they kissed that night. I was like, oh, this should be interesting. Because Raj was just being all teasy and all that, and went in for a cheek kiss, and then she basically went the other half, and then the relationship started then.
Huh. Yep.
So it wasn't really an OOC thing first.
Yeah, it wasn't like you guys didn't plan it out or anything.
Yeah, it wasn't really planned.
Yeah, which is typically how they need to happen. A lot of times, I know Sib and I, when we've planned relationships, you can make it happen, but it doesn't. Sometimes the characters really aren't as compatible as we originally thought they might be.
Yeah.
Especially now since he plays a female.
Right. I'm trying. I'm just saying.
Oh boy.
It's only a sin unless the girls are hot. That's all I'm saying.
My
God.
As you're out at my
very chauvinistic.
Damn right it is. It's also 90% of the internet. What's your point? The other 30% is
I don't have a
Netflix.
point.
But yeah, and so yeah, and Kishmas and Athal, they really do. I've seen very few people, especially meeting the way you guys did, that really. But you guys communicate like crazy. I know that, and even after all this time, you like even for something as simple as like putting your arm around her in character or giving her a kiss on the cheek. It's always the, like the tries to and attempts to. It's not even at this point. You guys, at this point, even I'd be like, "Yep, I'm doing it."
I think that's just me though, because I've never been the type of person to force something. I don't like forcing RP because RP's been forced on me before, and I absolutely loathe it.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of a habit to try to do something or attempt to do something.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It's about 90% of the time that happens. Other times are just very whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, because I know she, like Tarvala, she'll thump people on the shoulder in a playful way, and I don't really usually attempt it, but I always just say thumps them, and if they want to, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, dodge somebody's attempt to be kind to them, they can.
See, that kind of stuff really annoys me. Like, wow, you're going to do that?
Yeah.
It's just a thump, man.
Yeah, it's like, no, dodges swiftly.
Unless you want your character to get beat up.
Okay, you're welcome to try it, doughboy.
Exactly.
Hey, she brought down Snowy Vengeance for Am Sylvie the other night, so that was...
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, she took that way too. There was a thing last night, and it was a snowball fight as part of an event, and Tarvala took that way too seriously. She was like a little Invader Zim, just bringing down Snowy Vengeance upon everybody. So that's cool. So all right, we've talked enough about Kishmas. I mean, it's
Okay, bye.
I think I speak for everyone when I say, yeah, all right, whatever. No, really, I am really seriously so glad that you decided to come on and here be with us, and I really hope you have a good time.
Glad to accept it.
I know, yeah, he may not always be able to be here because real life unfortunately comes first in his job, apparently, that
flexible.
He has to have money for some reason. I don't
know why, bro. It's just people just don't give me stuff for free anymore.
Yeah, not since the breast
Doesn't
reduction.
That
Sucks.
But yeah, so his schedule, he always seems to, apparently he'll flip between Saturdays and Sundays, and we're going to do it on Saturdays. So that's one of the things with 5 of us here. We can always have at least a solid 3 people if 2 of us for some reason, die or get like deathly ill or worse, have to work.
Yeah,
have to work, and that's a solid tragedy.
I would really rather just die. Fuck you, Amazon. Anyway, so Sibh'Bae, welcome back.
Thank you.
We haven't had you on since like episode 10 when you were pinch hitting for Sib. So
that's true.
I know not everybody may have gone through all the episodes, so we'll basically reintroduce you. I know me and Jazz have known you for a long time. Sib, as long as she's been role playing as well. So we met each other back in EQ2.
He used to scare the crap out of me.
Your in-game life, no less.
Yeah. I've actually, we'll have to get into that.
That's a whole other
fun.
Epic tale of woe and pain and horror.
Yes,
Ouch.
Man whore. Home wreck. He's a home wrecker. She's a whore. No.
Yeah.
So
it was more of a horror show at the end, but hey.
Yeah. So what kind of stuff have you? I know you obviously EverQuest 2. That's where we met. So what else have you played there?
So I started off way back in the day, and we're talking when I was in junior high, on a 2D South Korean MMO called Nexus TK. And I played with my friends. We kind of made up goofy names, and we were kind of role-playing with each other without really doing serious role-play. And it moved. He got me into EQ1 and, like, blew our minds. And I kind of did it, but I kind of didn't roleplay at all. And then I moved to Galaxies. Star Wars Galaxies for the young folks that don't realize.
Yeah, what that is now.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I'll throw myself on.
And I was a horrible Imperial flaming PvPer delighting in making lives miserable for role players. I was quite good at it. I even unlocked Jedi and I was even worse at it. But some role players at a local bar in a town on Talos, they had a little roleplay event every day and we started going there. And I was converted to the great hate and chagrin of my PvP buddies who I lost overnight.
Yo, what if you were my brother? You were supposed to destroy them, not join them.
Pretty much how it went. Oh, that's such a great analogy. Yeah, totally. That's pretty much what happened.
High ground.
And I had a few folks that stuck with me that were PvPers that wanted to roleplay, but they just wanted to roleplay so we could still kill the PvPers, and they were using me as the cat's paw.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So,
Word.
I mean, it is what it is, and it was a lot of fun, but then the great disaster of the NG happened, and I moved to EQ2.
Moment of silence. And that's enough.
Yes. And I was playing on the good side of things as a Wood Elf Ranger. Had a good aligned RP, and that was fun. It was nice to be the good guy for a while. And then slowly, literally overnight, as the months were wearing on in that game, the good RP was vanishing. Till it was just me wandering around Kinos going, what in the heck happened to everybody? And
Yeah.
someone told me, oh, we're all on the bad side now, dude. If you want to be hip, you should come over here and play in the slums of Freeport.
Hold on. I gotta go get my edge.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, yeah.
At the time, I had a crazy stalker type chasing me around on the good side of roleplay, and I said, you know what? I'm going to
Let's
take my
try
character
this.
that's this nice guy and do everything that is most vile and horrible in my book, and I'll play that guy.
So
And that's
he
when you
became
met
a
me.
Republican.
But
I'm kidding.
yeah.
Mostly.
All good. And that's when you guys met me. I was playing a tune that I absolutely hated. I was hoping he'd die really quickly, and to my shock and horror, I played him for 10, 12 years.
That's my fault.
And no matter what I did, I kept trying to get him killed, and no matter what the consequences were, I always got promoted in officership, and I'm like, this is the most insane thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Welcome to the Sith.
Pretty
The
much.
worse you are, the better you are.
Yeah, pretty much.
They have a great
So
demo
I met
plan.
Jazz, I met you, and a bunch of other role players that still play with us now. Fast forward a little bit, now I kind of went to ESO. Oh, I might forget. I don't want to forget this point. When ESO was coming out, I said, you know what? Yeah, I was like, yeah, guys, if EQ2 tanks, this was overkill chat, mind you. So I'm probably going to ESO.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike here, to his great horror now, said, well, enjoy playing alone, dude, because that's what you'll be doing.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
You know,
shit.
fast forward, this is past, and I played a really
It's
big.
been about a
green.
year now.
Yeah, it's been about a year. They changed things up in ESO, and I started playing it. It was wonderful. It was amazing. I was like, wow, this is not the game I beta tested. This is awesome.
Yeah,
And I
one
kept
Tamara
kinda
guy
like
made a big
Jazz with it.
No.
And she came over. Jazz came over, and I said, cool, look, you leave the wild people behind, and we'll enjoy ourselves here. The next thing I know, Mike and Sib showed up.
Oh
And then
no,
my brother,
no! I
showed up.
gotta stop you right there.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Me and Jazz played it for probably a month,
Yep,
and
that's
a
right.
half.
She
And-
played it first.
Yeah, and somebody's like, "Are you guys having fun over there?" And I'm like, "I'm enjoying it. I
having
love
a good time
it."
with Final
Yes.
Fantasy 14.
And then all of a sudden, next thing
Alone.
you know, here comes Ashen. Okay.
And
Go
then
ahead,
once he was
Sibh'Bae.
here, yes, you were absolutely correct. Once he was here about a few weeks, I said, hey, say Zan. I said, what? You remember that time he said, enjoy playing alone? Look where you're at. I think it was F
Yeah.
you, Strophe, F you to the ground, something like that, and I enjoyed it immensely. It was a long troll, it paid off.
And
Needless
now,
to say, I mean, I played a little Age of Conan, which is a disaster.
oh,
I
yeah.
played a little Star Trek Online, which is also a disaster.
Disaster.
I played Tor. That was also a disaster. So happily we're set in ESO.
Yeah.
And every once in a while I'll moonlight into Star Wars Galaxy's EMU or to EverQuest 1 EMU.
This is why nobody likes you.
This is why no one likes me. I go back to the classics every once in a while.
Nah. No, I just meant that you're just a mean person. You're vile and you're petty. I mean that you held on to that one throwaway phrase from me for so long.
I wish I could have seen your face.
It keeping you up at night, just thinking, you know what? If I could just get him back in AVSO, I could get this.
Just remember,
I could do this. I could say this back to him, and it'll feel so good, so good.
You are talking,
take it all in, and then you would fall asleep crying.
You are talking to the guy who played Big Green Troll for 12 years as well. Lived to troll everyone. So
yeah,
I never forgot a good trolling, and I was like, this is going to be perfect if he comes over. And you finally showed up. I was like, ooh, I've been saving this long con for so long.
Yeah, well, joke's on you. Nobody wants to role play with you.
Well, that is true.
That's
an unfortunate side effect.
Unfortunately.
You know what? Especially Jazz and Sib. They're the worst. You should hear what they say about you when you're not around.
Yeah,
They're like, he's from Texas.
Yeah, he must be evil, right?
That's really all they got. And he likes to be outside because neither one of them like that. I mean, Jazz is pretty pale.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, said take that. How do you feel now, huh? Huh? How do you feel now? Jerk. But no. But no, it's I totally had it coming. I really when I said that, I was like, when you said that, I was like, did I say that? I say so many things I don't remember. And then I was like, oh shit, I did. Wow, that came off way more douchey than I think I may have intended it to be. But yeah, well.
Well, it was all meant. It was lighthearted. It wasn't.
Oh, it was.
But yeah,
it was. But yeah. So it's not my fault they changed the way ESO ran after one Tamriel. I heard about it, but I didn't know it was like going to be like that different. Like, you know,
right?
A good game.
It was good and bad.
Yeah, and they've got.
No, it was just bad. It was just bad.
Yeah,
it was awful.
It was bad for RP.
It was bad. Period. The game sucked. And then
hold
finally
back.
Got better.
Don't hold back, Jazz. How did you feel?
The snake suck in there. That was pretty rough.
Oh my god,
She's a parcel mouth.
This game so much. I wanted to love ESO so much. I did the beta, and at the end of the beta, I was just like, this game bites ass. I am not buying it. I am not coming back. I was so mad that it sucked.
I have a physical copy. How do you think I felt?
I'm sorry.
Fuck.
At least I didn't buy it.
I lost it, thank God.
Yeah.
Awful.
Well, don't feel
subscription based.
I bought the lifetime thing to STO when it first came out, and I ate that as well.
Oh, what was that? Like $200 or something?
It's like $200. But
oh, dude.
I never had to pay for any expansion. I can log in and I have all this loot waiting for me, but you don't really want to play it, so it's kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I bought the full Monty for EverQuest Next. So
yeah, there was.
Landmark.
Yeah, we went over that. I know we brought that up. That was $200 on Jazz's side with her and her husband, and another $100 on mine. So
Yep.
shove that up your butthole there, Daybreak Games. hope it was worth it. Light it on fire because that's what you're
doing. Oh God, I was so mad. That was just so awful.
Yeah, I wonder sometimes with those lifetime subscriptions how many people get them, and that just like, and then the game turns out to be utter shit.
It's
like how much
grabbing,
money have they gotten from people for that? Like, did you feel like you, even for what you did play, did you get your $200 worth out of it?
I did.
Yes.
Did you at least? I'm not talking to you, Jazz.
So.
I know you did. You don't count. You thought Landmark was okay. I don't even trust your opinion anymore. Jeez.
I did because they gave you some so many other.
So you at least played long enough to feel like you didn't.
I did. I had a good time
Okay.
with a Vulcan engineer. I went all the way through it, and by the time the Romanian content dropped, then I played the mess out of that, and that was a lot of fun. I mean, the game still had its issues that I was kind of detracted from its enjoyment, but it was still fun on some levels.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those games where if you were completely bored, it's like, oh, I still have the STO loaded. Let's go see what's going on, fly around.
Yeah, see, I never got out of the training.
If you were a Trekkie nerd, like, you could go to Risley. You could go to a few landmark places from the show.
Yeah. See, and
some of that was cool.
Yeah, and I do love Star Trek. Like I've actually sat down and watched, like, you know, through them again on Netflix, like Voyager and those. I still need to go through DS9. which is their, the Babylon 5 of Star Treks, because they were trying to compete with that.
Yep.
But I'm still not enough of a Trekkie that I'm willing to pay CBS their money to watch Discovery, because go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
And that's a whole other can of worms. But
Yeah.
suffice to say, STO had its moments, and there was a lot of content that went back to the original series, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, didn't they do that one with like that rock time, the original trilogy, that
Oh, the
time
Guardian
rock
of
thing?
Eternity?
Yeah,
Yes.
that thing.
You got to experience that. That was a super cool episode.
Yeah.
And they made a feature where you could actually build your own episode and put it in the game.
Oh, that's kind of
A
cool.
lot of level designers when I was in grad school were doing that, kind of get some creds under their name. So no, it has its perks, it has its negatives, but it's not a really game. The roleplay is not
fuck
there.
you. Sorry. That guy Lazza in the Discord
Oh.
chat says Discover is on Australian Netflix for free.
Wow.
Go fuck yourself, Australia.
Oh, really?
That's bullshit. That's not Australia's fault. That's CBS's fault. Fucking CBS. I can't tell you.
Tell us how you really feel.
That just ruined my whole night right there.
What is...
Man. Australian Netflix. America's supposed to get
Awesome.
all the best stuff. Do you not
have
know how
fun
much
with your
better we
crappy
are?
Streaming.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, at least our games don't get banned yet. Take that.
There's that.
Our Nazis actually look like Nazis in Wolfenstein, not like little Care Bear teddy bears because they're too violent.
That's hilarious.
Yes, and Orville is fantastic. Anybody that wants an actual Star Trek show, unfortunately, you have to go to Seth MacFarlane and watch Orville. Don't do that. It is really good, as Jay the Exile was saying. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Star Trek Online.
Yeah, I mean it's fun, but it's a lonely game. It's kind of like Star Wars Old Republic. Unless you just know some friends and you play with them constantly, you're not going to find the roleplay. And when you do find the roleplay, you wish you hadn't found the roleplay.
Is it cringy? I really don't. That's definitely a game I would love to find the roleplay community on and have them on. Like
They have
the
this
actual
feature where you
people.
can create any race, like any
Yeah,
alien
that one.
from nowhere, and you have a bazillion of those people being unique snowflakes, being I'm the special of everything. And I bet the only thing I made which was cool was like a half Bajoran, half Cardassian from like DS9. I was like, that'd be cool to play one of those war orphans.
Oh man,
You're
that'd
uber
be
Star Trek
man.
nerd.
Talk about being the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah,
of-
pretty much, and that was fun. But you had the roleplay was just bad.
Okay,
It was
so
just bad, man.
so what you're saying is I can go on there and make myself a queue. How many of those did you bump into?
Oh,
I'm
leave it
half
to your
Q, half
imagination,
human,
but yes.
half dragon, halfling.
Archimini?
Choose my daddy. Yeah, sure he is. I'm out.
Well, technically, they all could be because they're all called Q.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to
there you
be the Q, as played by what's his face, the guy that
Yeah.
plays
John
Q.
Lance?
Which every time I see him, he's like, "Oh, it's the guy that plays Q." Doesn't matter
I
how many
feel
years
bad
it's been
for him.
since he did that; it's still the guy that plays Q.
So he did do an episode in Star Trek Continues, which is like the continuation of original series, and he played a really good like world dignitary where they were talking about some current issues about like it was a kind of a refugee episode, and he played like the prime minister of that world, and he was really good.
He's really
he
good.
actually is a
Also-
really good actor.
He's a really good actor. I kept going, hey dude, it's Q, but he's playing a prime minister.
Yeah,
It made me wonder if he really was the prime minister or if he was like, really jerking the planet off. But either way, it was fun.
yeah, it's still the same difference. But I have to say that's one thing. Going into nerd stuff, that's not so much role play. How many actual actors from Star Trek show up in like fan fiction movies? Like
Quite a lot of
like
them,
fan
actually.
films and stuff. It's amazing the number. Like the guy that plays Tuvok, he's in like all of them.
Yeah, Tim Russ is a pretty cool dude.
But I every time I see it's like this is an unofficial fan film and it's like starring. It's like holy shit, that's like the real actor that used to play one of the real characters. What's he doing in this stuff?
Some of the NPCs in ESO, I believe, are voiced by Tim Russ because I'm literally
think
running
so.
through Dominion content and suddenly I hear this Wood Elf talking like Tuvok. I'm like, oh wait, dude,
Yeah,
that's Tim
and
Russ.
he's got a very unique voice. Yeah.
yeah,
I
that's
always
pretty cool.
that drives me crazy in MMOs too. What was it? The guy that played Invader Zim, he was several characters in EverQuest too. Yeah,
Right.
a lot of
He was.
gnomes and stuff like that, and he was perfect for it. But I'm like, the kid that played Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender, he was in I forget, I think Aeon or something like that as one of the voices.
I
Or he's
believe
not a
it.
kid, but he's probably a grown-ass man that just sounds like a kid. So,
Could be.
yes. All right. So, Sibh'Bae, you got what other kind of? So, I know the episode we were in. It was the Might Be a Stalker If episode, and so we went all into some of the crazy people that you've had the opportunity to have basically just
misfortune.
try to destroy your life
Oh, yeah.
and ruin everything fun and sunny in anything you enjoyed. So
You paint a grim picture, sir.
it was tell me I was wrong.
No, you're not.
God.
Yeah, exactly.
It was pretty awful.
Yeah, tell me what part of that was false, and I'll retract my statement.
None of it.
That's
Yeah.
right,
So there you go.
because you knew some terrible people.
You win this round, sir.
Man.
You know, I was playing a terrible character, and they kind of attract these terrible people.
Yeah, but that's one thing.
It's a bad boy.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
okay to attract the in-character terrible people. But the problem is you were attracting the out-of-character terrible people.
Well, they were terrible in real life and in game as well.
Yeah,
they
which
didn't-
is why
they didn't
they-
deviate too far from their natural base.
Okay, yeah, there's an episode we're going to have to get to too sometime. Not playing yourself.
Not playing yourself, yes.
Don't ever play all, like, you can have aspects of yourself, little things like, Tarvala's got sloppy handwriting. My handwriting is atrocious. Not a
there
big
you go.
deal. Don't play who you actually
Don't
are.
play yourself.
Yeah,
that's
don't play yourself.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, because Kishmas that's exactly what Kishmas does as real life. Is he stuffs dirty
Yep.
sweat rags into women's mouths when they talk
Yep.
back to him.
Ew.
Exactly.
It's actually he does that.
That's the loss prevention at Best Buy up here, man.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's where he works. It's like, oh yeah, you want to return that? Hold on.
I'll never venture into Best Buy again.
That's right. He did
And
that
you
to
better watch out for
Tarvala.
those yellow-
I don't even remember why, but he actually stuffed his dirty sweat rag into her mouth as a
Ew.
I
recruit.
think Tarvala laughed during the sermon or
Yeah.
something.
It was yeah, I think she smirked or something like that. And then I think you got in trouble, so take that.
Yeah, well, Arabi's a dick, so.
Yeah. But yeah, take that, you got in trouble. Okay, so let's see here. Getting to know these two assholes. Wonderful people who I'm glad are of course here. Actually, we do have one little thing. It's not so we don't really have a word from our advertiser. But Sib has a little something down here that I think.
I was gonna do it at the very end.
Oh, you're gonna do it at the very end? Well, you know it would be
Yeah.
good. You telling me
What?
that before I tried to introduce
Well-
it.
Well, you went into the main topic, so I was like,
Well, yeah, because I didn't want to do cause it didn't make sense to what you had to do. It doesn't make sense if nobody knows who these guys are. It'd have been like, all right, and now this, and they're like, who are these two assholes? I have no idea. I don't know.
Can I do it at the end?
Yes,
can I
we'll
do my
do it at
cheese
the
at the end?
end.
My cheese at the end.
Yeah, she was gonna strip, but I guess now we're just gonna have to
What?
wait.
I guess
It's
I put
not
my
like-
wallet away.
It's not like you could see anything, so
That's right. Hold on, let me
I
get
could be sitting here doing this show butt naked and nobody would know.
butt
See, that's the
naked.
glory of
I am.
role-playing. It's your imagination that does
Exactly.
all the dirty work.
Mm.
True.
I could be sitting here naked with a glass of wine and no one would know.
Hold on, I'm
It's the visual.
just picturing it. Mm.
That wasn't.
I want you to soak it in there.
I'm just looking.
Commit it to memory. There will be a test.
I'm just looking for that little muscly armed alternator. You gonna come over here and sit on my lap, son? Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I got a long sword for you.
Oh, man. Suddenly we find ourselves in the bad place.
Bad place.
I need an adult.
I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to do
No.
Herbert from Family Guy at work anymore.
No.
I wait till she leaves and then I do it. Yeah, we did find an unfortunate thing actually in a voice chat with Kishmas that unfortunately a lot of the voices that I could do and actually do well without sounding really shitty all turned out to be child molesters, which is really weird. Michael Jackson, Herbert, yeah, it's was a couple others there, and I can't remember what they were now, but yeah, not good. Not a good direction for me.
That's certainly a way to buzzkill the podcast.
Just
Good
looking.
job.
I mean, hey, just because I bought a windowless fan, it's just purely for just
Does it happen to be down by the river?
How do you know so much?
I just had a feeling, man. I do play Jedi in SWG. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
the truth, Bob. Yeah, you were there. You were there, Travis. It's yeah. Yeah, I don't know how we got onto that topic. So
Anyhow.
is there anything like that? So we'll go ahead and jump on here. We're just gonna jump on the both of you at once now.
Stop.
What?
Thank you.
What? I'm just saying that I'm not gonna keep saying it. No, don't ever do that. Apparently, it'll make you lose your job, which is probably the least of what should happen to you, Kevin Spacey. It's a good thing they were already writing his ass out of, was that House of Cards? He's not going to be back next year.
Of course not. What?
Yeah, he's okay. Spoiler alert. He was already really. If you haven't seen that show, he was even before this stuff came out. That character was like, where the hell are they going with this? He's like, they turned everything over to his wife in the show. So, man, did he really picked the wrong time to have all that crap come out, because now you've got no job and they really don't need you anymore.
Exactly.
Which is such a shame. All that stuff. It's such a shame that people that you really, really liked turn out to be utter scumbags. I mean, they're not surprising, but it's like, come on. Can't you be talented and a halfway decent person? Like, how hard is it? Just don't touch people inappropriately. Is it hard? Is it really that hard? I mean,
Apparently.
Well, you get to the point where
Oh,
people
it is hard, if you know what I mean.
Oh my god.
yeah, it's just so sad.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
It's the ring of power, man. It's like having a Sith holocron.
Yeah.
And eventually it starts corrupting you, right?
Yeah, it was the whole absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess so,
Yeah.
because it's like, man, when nobody tells you no all the time,
There you go.
you know,
There you go.
which is how we end up getting roleplay monsters, because these people have nobody tells them, like, yeah, you can't do that. That's stupid. And then they're like, no, get them,
Half
and their
the
little
guild
cult
explodes.
followers come after
Yep.
you.
I'll be the first to admit, no one told me that I couldn't Fusro Da in RP, and I did when I was in DC, and no one was against it. So I'm like, oh, okay, so it's cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because it's a Dragonborn thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No one told me it was a bad thing, so I kept on it for 3 months before I was like, this is dumb. This is dumb RP. Because at the time, I left the Merc Guild and joined the Tavern Guild. Biggest mistake in RP I've ever made so far.
Joining it.
Those
What
those
was it?
taverns, man.
What do you mean?
I was
Like,
I went from Sellsword to Tavern Guard, and I was like, well,
oh wow.
well, this sucks.
At least you're employed.
I used to be part of the Secret Service, but now I guard Chase Bank.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much. It was so boring. I sat there with my
Oh,
arms
man.
crossed in heavy armor and looked around.
And
said,
look,
yes,
and scowled.
no, yes, no, don't touch that.
You didn't even get to be like one of the bouncers in front of like a trendy nightclub, like, you on the list?
Oh no,
You ain't getting in here with them shoes on.
It was one of those-
Son,
it
back
was
to
one
the
of those-
line.
It was one of those tavern guilds that was like, oh yeah, I can have a room for 3.
Gosh.
Ooh, we charge by the 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
left
Well,
like...
what are we gonna do with the other 9.5?
But no, I left like a month after I joined it and came to EP, and then I saw Seb advertise. I was like, oh, cool, I'll join.
Okay, we need to hit up on that real quick. It is roleplay related. There was a post she put on the Discord chat where she was doing exactly what drew you into it. Where she's like, you know, hey, it's a Dunmer only guild and blah blah blah. She actually sent pictures of some of the things people send to her.
You racist!
Yeah, seriously.
It's
They're
like, what the hell?
there's like actual.
Have you met the Dunmer?
Yeah, but these people that was out of character tells like you're just a racist. I can't believe
Reported! Reported!
Yeah, they were pissed. They were really pissed. They were legit
That's
just like.
insane.
"Rrrr."
And the daycare generation comes up to gobble us all up.
That's right. I gotta see if I could. Let's. See if
It's
I
up
can.
there somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the derp is strong.
They
with
even
general
spell it
propaganda.
right. They even
Yeah.
spell racism right. They went racist.
she does it, and
You're a racist!
she reported back.
man.
She's like it was bad enough with one of them, Dark
Yeah.
Lord Xenon. I don't give a shit.
Dark
That's-
Lord.
Yeah,
All
Dark
right.
Lord. Yeah, that right. You should be surprised that she tells him he's been reported. He says thank you, or no, he reported her, so she smiled and said thank you, and then he said that she was a racist, racist.
You're racist.
Yeah.
Stop being such a racist.
Yeah.
Racist. And then she's like, yeah, how about read the game's lore sometime? Dark elves only. I have 2 dark elves. Oh, that was somebody else. That's all I need to hear. Like, someone's
I
like,
have 2.
in the middle of it's like, I have 2 dark elves. It's like, okay, well, see, that's a good one. But the other one's like, dark elves only. That's all I need to hear. Really?
Gosh.
Really? Yeah, and the other guy, he
Yeah.
spelled it racist, R-A-S-I-C-T. That was the one I was looking for. Yeah. What does it
Nice.
hurt? What is it literally like? If you're, I don't know if they're just they could just be trolls, which I'm sure some of them are. That'll just be funny. I know. I think I've sent that to her. Like, you're racist. You only want Dunmer, but I'm already in the guild, so it's like that's it's actually not racist. It's actually a species. It's a species because
It's
unlike
a fake species.
Unlike
A fake-
blacks and black, Hispanic, Asians, that's all the same. We're all the same species. We're just different
Yeah.
races.
ethnicity
Those are
and
all
that.
different species. They're not the same race. So
Yeah.
that's
Well, you could argue that Dunmer and Altmer and all of them are the same species.
They all come from the Altmer. They've just deviated.
right.
Altmer.
Those ones, but I'm talking like between humans and elves.
Oh, yeah.
and there's no more Dwemer, but for those with dwarves, those are totally different species of froglocks. Not quite the same.
Froglocks.
As we're talking.
Dwemer were actually Mer as
Right.
well, but
Right.
Yep.
Anything with a mer is basically some sort
they
of
weren't-
variation of
And
elf.
people call them dwarves, but they weren't actually dwarves. That's
No.
what the giants in Skyrim called them because they were smaller than them.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
Yeah, I've always
dumb.
that took me a long time. I forget when it was before I realized dwarf in Elder Scrolls, just the games in general in Dwemer were like the same thing. I was like, oh, I always thought Dwemer were some sort of elf.
which they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, well they are, but I was like, I thought they were some, I was like, and then
Actually,
and then
I
that
think it
dwarves
was-
were different.
It wasn't until I actually joined servants that I found out that dwarves weren't dwarves. They were Dwemer, and Dwemer were tall as fucking dark
Yeah.
elves and all that. I'm like,
They
oh,
were just
well, I didn't know that.
Weren't they just like stout or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were
They had really nice beards.
mechanically inclined and grew beards. There's a quest in Skyrim to open up a Dwemer vault for the Ogma Infinium, spoiler alert, where you actually have to get mer blood from every living mer, combine it just to get the Dwemer blood code to open up the vault. And that's how you know they're mer. It's pretty cool.
Huh. I don't know if I've done that one, or if I did,
That's
I
a
don't
pretty-
remember.
I
it.
do remember that. I don't
That's
think
a
I
cool
really
quest.
made much of any of it.
Huh.
Yeah,
Because remember, when I was playing Elder Scrolls as a kid, I didn't play it for the, stories. I played it because I want to kill
Oh,
some
yes.
bandits and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and I never got into. I never got into Morrowind, the single player.
great
And
game. Really
I
hard.
tried Oblivion, giant potato head people with horrible faces, so that didn't last long.
Also a fun game.
Yeah, and Skyrim I did get into. They had finally dumbed it down enough to my level.
Oh, there you go.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Oblivion was pretty much the exact same thing, but it was just the stupid potato head people. It was everybody looked like they had some sort of allergic reaction to a bee sting. Their swollen jowls and squinty little eyes. It was awful.
And
It was-
Argonians look like velociraptors.
right?
they
Yeah,
did.
it's like we needed Chris Pratt to come and calm them down every single time. He's standing in front of an army of Argonians with his hand out, like, whoa, you know me.
Have your buddy.
Yeah, Stand down. Stand down.
I'm still.
And boom, that's how the Arnesian War stopped.
That's right. That's how it was. Chris
it wasn't
Pratt.
the Dark Elves. It was Chris Pratt.
It was Chris Pratt.
He's the hissed whisperer, as it were.
Exactly. The hissed whisperer.
They imprinted on me when they were hatched.
Yeah,
Tim will never forgive me.
That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. Okay, so let's see here. Where do we want to go from here, folks? Is it Jazz? I know you've been kind of quiet. You got anything you want to ask these two chuckle fucks?
And that is a truly inspired name.
That is a
I
nice
take that to
name.
heart now.
Wow.
Yeah, I have to feel a special connection to somebody to really mean that as I did.
Yes.
And he
So-
really means it.
Kishmas.
Yes.
What was your favorite character?
My favorite character in all of RP or just a certain
In all
game?
of RP so far.
All of RP. Oh, that's easy. That's Vergier.
And what
That's
was he
easy.
like?
What
'Cause
was he
I
like?
don't. Yeah,
Or
or
is.
is
What
he like?
is he like?
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
he's very blunt, very devout to being a husband, to be a father, to be a coordinator. He's doesn't give a shit about what other people say. Well, he does, but he doesn't show it. He likes to talk behind people's backs, but if you do something wrong, he'll tell you, and he'll punish you for it. Like if you mock him, he'll beat you with a brand without branding you.
Nice.
That's right. He's done that.
Quite
yeah.
a talent.
But he is a very good person to some people. He has very bad trust issues. So when you're trusted by him, you're basically his friend. So, like Tarvala, he trusts Tarvala, therefore he's her friend.
Ever since she threw his ass on the ground.
Yeah, yeah, that too. He loves to fight, but he doesn't like to fight too much because he likes to save himself. Killed all the heretics.
Yeah, you gotta
You
keep fresh.
can't kill a heretic if you have a broken arm. I mean, you
True.
could, but
Well, luckily for you, we have healing. You can get that healed up in about 4 or 5 seconds. What's it take?
yep. Just put your hand on my hand, glow it yellow, then boom, it's all fixed. Fantastic. I love magic.
Bippity boppity boo.
Magic roleplay heals. Always
Yeah.
inspired.
Yeah, I definitely.
Yep.
I really wish there was a way to limit that more in roleplay at times.
Well, we have limited more in the temple because not everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put my hand over your head and heal the concussion.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
A lot of the healers use alchemy to make it better.
Yeah. But yeah, because I know, like when I've read like things like the Dresden Files or the Iron Druid series, their healing works, but it takes some of it. It takes time. Some of it can only do so much, so fast. Which but I know Jazz, you've seen it too, where it's like, your chest is missing. We can regrow that.
We have the technology.
We have the technology,
Oh,
or the ones that get pissed off because like they, I think it happened. Was it you, Sib, or something the chainmail armor had like been melted into their skin, and they're like, I'm just gonna heal it, and like, but they didn't remove anything, so she was like, like this skin knits around the chainmail. It's like, well, I obviously would have taken that off. Well, obviously, maybe, but you didn't do it.
It's kind of badass. I mean, you got metal in your skin, so
Yeah.
you got wear more chainmail. You got 2 sets of chainmail to protect yourself.
Yeah. But
Just
yeah,
one
I mean, it would
second
hurt after you get hit, but
right, or moving or breathing or anything that rubs against the chainmail. But yeah, she got Sib. That was not a great roleplay experience for Sib. That was with somebody that she did not like too much after that because they got super pissed off. That's like, well, that's what you did.
yeah,
It's like if you're gonna play a healer, pay attention when somebody describes their wound and maybe go the extra, type the extra 10 words to say removes chainmail.
That's one thing I know that with RP, go the extra distance. Just type out that little bit of extra stuff. It makes it more interesting.
It
at
does.
least to me.
Yep, I agree.
Details are always the more interesting parts.
The devil's in the details. Is
That's
that what
right.
that saying is?
Yep.
Yes, it is. Although in this case, it's actually that would be a good devil. like a little tiny, like an imp maybe, something that would help you out and like, get you a beer from the fridge.
Like a little ring gust on your shoulder?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, man, suddenly I want an imp in the house. Go mix me a drink. Yes, master. Yes, master. It'll poison it. Don't poison it. Damn it. Okay, so anybody else have anything? If there's any questions you want to ask these two guys in chat, let us know. If they're not reading it, I'll read it to them. They are role players. They probably don't know how to read. They only learned how to type. So you gotta.
I don't look at the keyboard.
Yeah,
I just type
like,
whatever comes.
the words are like a picture book that moves. One thing I kind of wanted to go into, because it does affect roleplay, and it's kind of happened, is what the World Health Organization came out with while we were all gone. Yeah.
Oh,
my God.
Classifying gaming addiction as an actual now disorder in the lines of alcoholism, gambling, and drug abuse. And to which I say, no shit. I mean, anything can be an addiction. There's people addicted. There's people addicted to collecting porcelain, cat figurines.
There are people that are addicted to eating tissue paper. All right.
Or there was a chick I
Like,
saw
what
that
the fuck?
she literally
their
ate
own
an entire
hair.
plate. Yeah. Or rocks. There was one lady that liked
Yeah.
to chew on gravel.
Or are you a brontosaurus? Jesus. Eating rocks.
Oh, I got one question here from A Chance of Rain. They have one question. Why are you guys such freaking nerds?
Because I'm smarter than you. That's why I buy.
Ow.
Ooh, there you
That's a
go.
pretty good
There you go, Rain. There you go. That's because they're smarter than you.
I'm
course,
sorry.
you're-
but I'm a
you're-
nerd because I like it.
Yeah, because it's enjoyable and it's cheap.
Fun. I like.
It's
I've-
cheaper.
I've-
It's cheaper than a NASCAR.
That's true. And I'm raising an entire new generation of nerds.
Cheap entertainment
Fantastic.
when you're not able to go out and do stuff. You just use
Yep.
your imagination and
As long as you have a good
Storytelling's
internet
fun.
connection, right, Jazz?
That's right.
Yeah. So
I
anyway,
should tell you, this was actually quick segue this
go
in
ahead.
really
Go
quick.
ahead.
My middle boy was being a teenager and refusing to do his chores. And I had told him that he had to do X, Y, and Z, and it required that he get some rags and some water and some soap and do his job in cleaning the house. And he was grumping around, and I made a smart-ass comment to him, and he threw the towel at me. And I just cackled and I said, "Now Dobby will never be free."
Oh, man.
And he was like, "What?" And I was like, and I wouldn't tell him. I wouldn't tell him what it meant because Daddy lost it. I lost it. Xander started laughing because he has read Harry Potter. And I made him go look it up, and he did. He went and looked it up and came out and goes, "You're very funny."
I don't be
He's hilarious.
Nice. See, that's good stuff right there. That's and good for you for coming up with that on the fly too.
Exactly. I'm
That's why
terrible
we
about
love
that
our
stuff.
jazz.
Yay!
I
And
think in a
speaking
day-
of the monsters, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I think in a day and age where everybody's so pessimistic and nasty to each other, it's quite nice to have a refuge to hang out and just storytell and enjoy good company.
It is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As long as we
That would
don't
be a nice
as
answer
long
to
as they
that.
don't bring up politics.
That's true.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Which I hate to say, one of these days we're gonna have to do a show on
It's a
why
topic,
bringing
yeah.
in some of that stuff is really bad,
Yeah.
and it
You'll
can,
you get an earful from me.
yeah, and that's perfectly fine. It didn't used to be, of course, as bad as it is now.
No,
but
it
people
never
just
was.
nobody if you have a different opinion.
Nobody
of somebody
gave a
else,
shit.
Right. Before that, it was like, yeah, well, they're both bastards, and you know what's true? They're still all bastards.
Yeah.
But let's go back to this World Health Organization. I mean, like I said, duh. Of course, when Jazz gets back, Jazz, you back yet?
I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pull you into this, and I don't mean to put you on
Okay.
the spot, but there was a
Okay.
time when you and I first met, like
Yes.
you were always online because I know you
Yes.
had health issues. I don't think you were working. You were raising the little ones too, but you
Yeah.
were on like 16, 18 hours a day. I know you've said that on
18
previous
hours a day.
shows.
Yeah.
She
18 hours
was.
a day.
That's
Yeah.
when I met
That's not a
y'all.
lie.
Yeah,
God
but
damn.
would you would you say that was was it an addiction at the time kind of for you? I know obviously it's not now, but it was just something you enjoyed. And you still took care of your family.
I still got up and took care of my family and put the game on pause and walked away and came back when, and I still do that. And that's the difference with my kids, because I can see that it could become a problem. It's easy to become addicted to something, but I've told my kids when they're like, I'm busy, Mom, I'm like, you know what? I have to get up from my game. When you need something, get your happy, skinny teenage butt out of that chair and get where I want you to go before I raise my voice.
Get your pasty white ass in there and do the dishes. But yeah, see, and that's kind of the difference.
When I start going like that, it's time to do what Mommy says. But Mommy starts drawing it out.
Yeah, because there's what Jazz did, which she was on all the time. It was her outlet. She basically didn't leave the house because she was taking care of kids. She had a lot of health issues, and that was back before she got her seizures and stuff under control, which I know we've talked about before.
I was having sleeping seizures constantly.
Yeah, and she would have them in the middle of the day and be like, "I just had a seizure. I have to log out," because she'd crash.
Because it would make me sleep, and any stimulation would make me sleep. So if I went out and sat at the table with my boys while they were eating, they're just being loud boys, I would fall asleep at the table. They did eventually figure out what it was, gluten. But until I found out, once I found out and I got the seizures under control, I went back to work. But
But and that's the difference between what Jazz did and say the chick from the guild who had her children in like a dog pen while she was gaming. which is a
what the fuck?
Have you ever seen that, Christmas?
I haven't.
The guild with Felicia. I can't. It was Felicia Day that did that, and it was.
But there is actually people like that.
But there are people that do that.
Yes, I have had them in my guild. I have had to tell them when I'm like,
you need to go take care of your family
all the time, and they're never away from their computer, and I know they have kids. What the hell do they do?
Mm-hmm.
And that is a problem. And I will talk to people about that when, as a guild leader, if I think that people are like completely neglecting their life, we've had that conversation. Dude, this is a game. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
You need a life. Go find one.
And it can happen, and this was just for gaming addiction, but honestly, role playing in a video game is basically the same thing.
But you have people that go, that gamble, or people
right,
that,
and that's the thing.
It's the same concept.
It's an addictive personality. I know
Yeah.
we've mentioned before, like Sib had kind of a problem with gambling in a previous marriage and stuff like that, and it was awful.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows she has an addictive personality, so
and I'm careful.
And we're very careful, and that's one of the things.
I will say, when I first started gaming, it's all I thought about.
Mm-hmm.
It's all I wanted to do. But I had to rein myself in and be like,
especially
okay,
then,
I'm an
because
adult.
that was
I have work.
8 years ago, and our kids were they needed, they were young.
I really had to watch just playing games, because I didn't want to get so lost in it that I lost connection, everything else.
And I think that's important to address that. Yeah, it seems kind of hokey for some of us, but I had the same problems when I was dealing with substances.
Right.
When I was a teenager.
It's an addiction, yeah.
I have an addictive personality, so it is easy for me to slip down that road, which is why I always made sure, when I started imbibing a little much, I quit and walked away from it, just to do what I needed to do.
Sorry,
you not be disgusting.
Oh no, that was.
My God.
Sorry, that was. I was just doing a quick line. What? It's just. Little. There we go. It's the 80s, and I'm going to be a businessman.
Yeah.
Typical 80s businessman. I snort coke. That's how you know I'm an 80s businessman.
When I was in community college, I did the same thing. I literally would go to school, stay up all night playing SWG, go to class, 3 hours of sleep, and just rinse and repeat until you realize, dude, this is not good for you. You have to force your own change, and sometimes you're strong enough to do that, and sometimes you're not.
Yeah, and I'm not making light of addiction. I mean, it's called addiction. It really is. It's not. I'm not one of the people that say it's a disease, because I don't know. I always consider a disease something you catch.
Really see it that way.
A mental illness, definitely. It's
almost escapism. Like, you're addicted to the escapism from your situation sometimes.
Yeah, like
that was the case for me.
it's in our society in particular, mental illness is worse than being sick. So I think that's why they made it into a disease, because it helped people accept it better.
Yeah.
You'd rather believe that you have a disease than you're mentally ill. And that is something that's wrong with our society, and that we'd rather
True.
believe one versus the other when it's a mental illness. It's an OCD or whatever you want to call it. It's a mental illness
you
that
can't
you have
turn
to
it
get through.
off. And if it was,
Yeah.
and of course, this is the World Health Organization. This is the CDC or anything like that, which means it didn't come about because of us, fat, lazy Americans. This is, honestly, I would bet you that this is as much because of the Asian gaming market and the internet cafes as it is with anything to do with the UK or America and things like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. We definitely have the same people. I mean, people are people, but over there, the gaming, especially the way, if you've played an Asian
Korea has
MMO.
its own TV channel dedicated to
bad problem with it. Yeah.
StarCraft.
You got players dying in internet bars because they played too long.
Or the one where I talked about last time where they went over and fucked somebody up for cheating in PUBG with a hack. They just beat the shit out of the guy in the head. Which, I mean, he's a dirty, rotten cheater. He had it coming.
But you have to wonder, how did he know it was him?
He was looking over his shoulder. It's an internet cafe, so they could just
I see.
they're like, hey, you're not even aiming at that guy, and yet you just shot him. Hack!
But I think
Wham!
Oh, okay.
I really think that they're not necessarily reaching, but they're trying to increase awareness of how powerful games are now, especially
It's
with
not
so
just
many
the
people.
nerds and stuff like that anymore.
It's across the board. People are struggling. They don't have enough money. They want cheap entertainment. What's cheap entertainment? Well, games are cheap entertainment. So they're everywhere, and they're unmodified. They're unmonitored.
Unless you play Battlefield 2, in which case you just got to buy more loot boxes.
And that's another thing, too, is that MMOs and loot boxes are intertwining gambling.
They're very. I will admit, Sib and I both, we buy them like for an ESO because I do enjoy it, and I've done it in Overwatch. I enjoy it, but I only do it when we have the funds. Our kids aren't starving, but like for Battlefield, Battlefront. God, I named two fucking giant franchises, almost the exact same thing. Both start with Battlefield. But Battlefront, I don't do that one because I wouldn't. Not because one, it's turned off because it was garbage, and two, I'm not playing. It's pay to win. Cosmetic stuff, I'll pay a little extra for cosmetic stuff, especially when it comes to roleplay. If it looks really good, like there's new dresses in ESO that I could get for Tarvala. The new one looks like shit, so you know what? Not gonna get it. It's that easy.
You bring up a good topic. I mean, I work in the game development industry. And me and my lead artist were literally talking about how they have yet to crack down on some of these mobile companies that are blurring the line between online gambling and not.
Yeah, and they're going to have to. They're going to have to.
And it's already struck a major blow. Was it the Netherlands? They were actually, their government was going, and they found, they actually sided with the ESRB that loot crates and loot boxes are not gambling, according to that country's government, which I kind of disagree with. Yeah. I'm not saying governments are always right.
You're basically playing a slot machine.
You're playing a one-arm bandit. Yes.
It is exactly a slot machine, and it's very easy to be like, well, one more won't hurt. And
it's the company's Mel Brooks moment of the quest for more money, essentially.
And it's also important to note, and this is coming from somebody that lives by a casino and has worked within the casino business for a while and watched how it works. Plus, I took advertising in school, and that's why I didn't go into advertising, because advertising and your soul counter each other. So if you take anything with advertising, if you take anything that has to do with that, like I learned about color form and psychology and how it's used.
You took color theory, did you?
Yes, we took color theory, and
racist.
After peeking into that, after looking into that, and actually you're not wrong.
There's definitely different cultures
they
and stuff.
use psychology and color, and they manipulate you on levels that you do not even realize it. And once you realize it, it's like, you
bastards.
Yeah, it makes you mad. I mean, I spent half that class angry because I was like, oh my God, they're like directly manipulating people And they're doing the same thing with the loot boxes. Look at what, the
Mhm.
colors that they are and how they promote it. And they
and the
promote
shiny.
loot boxes.
Well, like what for those that haven't played, or actually for ESO, for Overwatch, the way Battlefront does it, because I get free ones, so I've opened the free ones that Battlefront gives you for logging in every day. If you look at I just thought of this, but if you look at the way those work as compared to a casino, all the flashing lights, the big glowing effects, the sounds, you open up like, what's all the animations when you open these, they put a lot of effort into just the animation. It could just be like, and boom, it's open. But no, it goes
There's
through
a
this
reason
animation
they do
where
that.
the cards flip towards you and then they come flipped down in ESO, so that you have to you can choose to flip them all over at once and see what you get, or you can do it one at a time. It's not by accident that stuff happens.
No,
like there
that's
was
biologic reason for that.
there was a lot of meetings, there was a lot of mental studies and stuff done on that, and it is all to try to keep you coming back to it, which
and they do
and
it.
it like I said, and not to bring politics into it, but I know Obama got a lot of shit because he hired sociologists and psychologists. Yeah, they all do. Like, all of them have. They've done that for like the last 100 years. Trump does it.
Yes.
They all hire, and if you don't think your candidates are doing the exact same thing, hiring psychologists and sociologists, when they do their advertisements, they absolutely are. They're all doing it. It's not it's not a left or right side thing.
TV shows,
your TV shows, your advertisements,
and the commercials,
yeah,
everything. It's all about manipulating you. And so the loot boxes are being promoted at the same level of, if you look at an advertisement for a casino and then look at an advertisement for loot boxes, you will be shocked maybe at how they just cookie cuttered it. There's no difference, which is why I was shocked when they were like, that's not gambling. Are you kidding me? Look how they're marketing it.
Yeah,
so they know it's gambling, or they wouldn't be promoting it that way.
Yeah,
they're going for a certain group of people.
I really need a Coca-Cola now that we've talked about all this manipulation.
This podcast is sponsored by.
People are just the old Wayne's World. People are just always selling out, and I think that's really sad. Is he's like dressed in all Adidas attire? It's like, yeah, I too also agree. Pepsi for the next generation.
Gulp, gulp.
Yeah. But I got it here. They have, and if anybody disagrees with us or thinks something totally different, come at me, bro. Come at me. Do you even game, bro? Do you even game? I mean, really? Is this easy mode? They have. They have the symptoms here as compared control over gaming. So things like your frequency, your intensity, and duration, which sounds like with a glass of wine a really good night. Yeah, but not with gaming. They made that sound really dirty. The way it just says impaired control over gaming, frequency, intensity, duration.
Sounds like a condom commercial.
Right? It really does. Trojan man, frequency, intensity, and duration.
Ribbed for your pleasure.
RP ribbed for her pleasure. Now in banana flavors.
Why though?
Yeah, I don't get the flavored condoms. That one's a little weird.
Really? You don't get that?
No, I actually don't. But not to go into a horrible spot, but no, I really don't.
Let's not get into
I can explain it if you'd like.
No, none of that now.
No. The other one is...
I had to have this conversation with my 13-year-old 3 days ago, so I've already got the speech on hand if you want to hear it. But go ahead.
No thanks.
She's got mouth herpes. So the other one is increased priority given to gaming, which that really doesn't really sound like that big of a deal, because I give increased priority to gaming because I'd rather be doing that than my job. But you know what? Still do my job. It really should be gives up everything else as a priority to gaming is really what that means. Because I know we've as I think probably all of us have, like what Jazz was saying, we've all known people that's like, I think you might have a serious problem. I'm not talking about like the introverts, the people that don't like to leave their house. I really don't like interacting with people in real life either. So, I understand
especially
that.
nowadays.
Right.
But
they're
you
not
can
worth
see it
talking
other players.
to.
What'd you call me?
What? Whoa.
What were you saying, Sibh'Bae?
I've experienced it, like people I've roleplayed with for years. get to know them. You get to hear what's going on in the background. You're like, wow, you're really not taking care of your kid. You're more important. You're more excited about being in this guild meeting. Your kid's back there screaming because you're not taking care of your kid.
Right.
It's depressing. You can see it, and you try to talk to them, people get real defensive.
Yeah.
It's like, you're taking my crack away. Get away from me. You know, it's real sad.
Yeah. Who are you to judge me?
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
there are just as many people that are addicted to like
Kwama egg
what's the name of
flavored.
that? Those live shows where they have the cameras up and they watch people live their lives.
Reality TV?
Yeah, that are just like that about reality TV, or there's people who are just like that about Blue Bloods. I mean, you're going to have people.
Wait, what's Blue Bloods?
It's a show.
I was actually being serious. I'd never heard of that one.
Yeah,
So
it's a show.
I thought it was like some like brand of something. I was like, what the fuck's a Blue Blood?
No, the guy that played Selleck, Tom Selleck. Yeah, Tom Selleck is in there.
The guy who played Tom
Selleck is it Tom Selleck?
Tom Selleck is in there, and it's a cop show. And it's really good. Y'all can check it out. Yes, I love you.
Oh, I love you, Jazz.
Tom Selleck, as played by Tom Selleck.
Shut up.
You know that question you asked?
So much right now.
That question you asked Christmas, like I kept hoping you'd ask me the same question, but you already know the answer, and I just did it to you. So we'll just leave it at that.
You did. Yes. Be quiet.
We all have our blonde moments, including redheads.
And I've only had a half a glass of wine. So.
Only, yeah.
Only?
Yeah.
Wow.
Since the show started.
Yeah.
But let's see, and here this goes to what you guys were saying: continuation or escalation of gaming despite negative consequences. That one especially, that like Sibh'Bae was just saying, like, hey, your kid sounds like he's probably got a bleeding head wound. Yeah, but the meeting.
Yeah. I actually had to. Time she had fallen out of her chair and broke her nose, and she wouldn't stop bleeding after like 20 minutes. It was still bleeding, and she couldn't breathe, and she was starting to have trouble breathing out of her nose, and the top of her roof with her mouth was numb. And I was like, I think you did more than break your nose. Probably should go to the hospital. Well, she didn't. She was like, we're at a meeting. I can't leave.
Yeah, you can.
You can.
Yeah, you actually
Wait a
can.
minute. Hold up. How do you fall off a chair and break your nose? Unless you was like a flip or something.
She just kind of face planted against her. I don't know what table
Was it
or
was it like she was sitting on the edge of her seat and it came up from under her so that she went
Right.
forward?
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
I thought you were just talking about falling backwards. I'm like, well, that's pretty acrobatic. I'm not pissed at that.
Calm
No,
down
she
there,
like
Nightwing. What are you
planted
doing?
on her desk or something. I'm not entirely sure what happened. All I know is she actually fractured the roof of her mouth.
God damn.
Holy cow.
Ouch.
Into her sinuses.
Ooh.
Sitting on the edge of your chair, that must have been some guild meeting.
That was
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
I've been to
serious.
Jazz's guild meeting.
We
I
had
have
some
never
fun
sat
guild
at the end of my chair.
Yeah, you guys just kind of wished it was over. But some people did enjoy
No,
them. So by
no.
you-
Actually, you know what?
Oh,
I
gosh.
actually do enjoy most of the guild meetings. The times I didn't enjoy a guild meeting were the same times I don't enjoy stand-up talks at work. When people ask stupid fucking questions that everybody should just, with common sense, know the answer to. That's when I get bored with guild meetings. Before that,
tell
I
you what.
enjoy them.
This is funny.
I kept hoping Vodka would send me to kill those people when they asked those stupid questions in AT2. And I would literally look at Boss, she's like, shut up, Ren.
when you say, hold on, I have a question. Jazz, over here. Jazz, pick me. Jazz? Okay. I have a question. So when you say that if anybody leaves the guild hall, they'll die, did you mean everybody? Or like, can I go, I have a dentist appointment. Can I go do that and then come back? Or did you mean, when you said everybody, was it everybody, or like, everybody?
I actually had someone ask me if it would be okay for her character to leave the hall. And I had said, no, nobody can leave because we're on lockdown and you aren't going to be able to leave any goddamn day. Baka would get really irritated by these constant questions like, okay, so you said everybody, but you didn't mean me, right? Because I have a date.
Right, yeah.
No, but then she says, in brackets, but I have a dentist appointment. Can I log out for that?
Wow.
Wow.
Please,
No.
please tell me you're
We're
kidding.
forcing you to do this.
And she was like, no, you said we couldn't leave. We can't log out.
Oh no.
See, that's when
No.
someone's taking it a little too far.
Yeah.
That's
But
not
that
separating.
happened a
Yeah.
lot. That
Wow.
happened a lot.
That's
That kind of stuff.
surprising.
Yeah.
Jazz
We had
was
people-
Vaccarina. Her Vaccarina character could be pretty imposing. It was kind of like a combination of Sibh'Bae and Lilel in one body.
That's a bad.
Right.
combo.
She
bad
was
combo.
deliciously evil.
Right.
Do not slander my empress. I mean, that's fair.
But
Still
yeah,
bad combo.
Baka was awful, but I did have a hard time understanding, at least initially, why
Yeah.
people were so addicted to her and her attention,
Mhm.
even if it meant being in a cell.
Uh-huh.
I had to learn about people who enjoy pain, and I already knew about
Oh,
it.
God.
It was just like,
Oh, don't be act like you're
So-
surprised, Kishmas. How many people end up in cells in your guild right now just because it's
I mean, you were
it's not
just
for
talking
pain
about-
but for attention.
You're
Yeah,
just
and
talking
that
about
is-
beating people with a brand.
True.
yeah, and that was the thing. That was we actually had to take one person's character and forbid them. Sealy forbid them from being hurt week
Yeah,
Oh gosh.
because
Yes,
they were
they're like,
constantly in the clinic.
I remember
I want
that.
you to choke me.
yeah.
And then when that didn't work and they still were doing it, we basically had to Sealy manage this person's RP by saying that he was not allowed to meet with any female doctors. He had to only meet with male personnel
It
to
was
put
that
an end to
bad.
that nonsense.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
That's so dumb, though.
And okay, anybody out there, if you're new to roleplay, we're talking about like the extreme cases on a lot of stuff. It does
Yeah.
happen. For the most part, people are kind of like, well,
Please chain me up.
they're kind of like us,
Like,
just
come
without the
on, man.
snark. Yeah. They're most people don't play the what's her face off of Archer that's like choke me daddy, you know. You know, the cyborg grabs her by the neck and she's like, It's like, wait, what?
Oh god.
Cheryl Lynn.
Cheryl.
Yeah, there were people who would purposely try to piss off Baka, so she would instead just lock them in.
Right. But you know, and
That was the only way to deal with them.
and there, you know, and you know, having your character locked up or do something out of line or something every now and then is one thing, but there are people that's the only way they know how to get attention. And I know, you know, Kishbis, I know we have a couple of them in guild. I know Jazz, we've got a couple of them in your guild as well. And it's just that's one I actually really that's one I really want to get into with here after a couple episodes
That's the attention seeker.
right. How do you deal with a character in your guild that never learns? Like, you know, you can only
Uh-oh.
give somebody
I've been kidnapped again.
And I will tell you that there is
Sid.
only one way to deal with them. And eventually you're going to have to deal with
yeah.
There's you can try 1,000 other ways, but eventually you just have to deal with
He's
it.
got to be like, stop. Get some help.
Just
Yeah.
get some help, get a life, get out.
If
I'm
you-
sorry,
if you
you're
can't-
a nice
if you can't-
person, but you can't be in this guild anymore.
Right. You just, you know, you give them plenty of chances, and I know it's happened recently, but we'll go into that one. That one's a good one.
Yeah.
Back to this World Health Organization thing. The
I
guy
think
they're
you were
using on
avoiding
this,
that.
right, is Dr. Richard Graham. I love your crackers, sir. They are fantastic. He's a lead technical addiction specialist for the Nightingale Hospital in London. Oh my God, he's from London. You know, he
And
knows
it's
what he's
night,
talking
so
about. And it's Nightingale. I mean, that's the
he
British.
knows everything about health except dental.
That's right. Except
There you
it's-
go.
Yeah.
True story.
My teeth are pretty. He welcomed the
Yes,
decision.
Joffrey.
He welcomed the decision, and it really is. I mean, if it gives people a better that actually end up with this, it gives them a little bit more. Like I could see insurance companies being like, "Hey, I'm addicted to gaming and I can't stop. I've tried everything, and I like, you know, he's got his parents ground him from the computer, and like in between class, he's like playing DS games or something like that." Yeah, like a little drug addict. So if they need help for that, they would be denied by insurance companies because gaming addiction wouldn't technically be a mental disorder. So in that respect, I kind of understand it from like a financial standpoint. He was saying it's significant because it creates the opportunity for more specialized services, and it puts it on the map as something to take seriously, which is true. The other thing that's also true is he says it could lead to confused parents whose children are just enthusiastic gamers. So at least this guy's actually fucking reasonable. Like our kid,
Yeah.
he's a very enthusiastic gamer. He plays all the time, but he does other stuff. Like he's active in sports. He does fantastic in school. You know, I give him all the leeway he wants for the most part, as long as he comes down and does the fucking chores when I tell him to and doesn't, but at least I understand. Unlike my parents, when I said, just give me a minute, this match is almost over, I understand what that means. It means I'm winning, I'm doing well, I'll be down as soon as this match is over. Not, I'm just making an excuse and you can just pause it, which is what I heard all the time when I was a kid. Just pause it. It
Giving
doesn't,
me PTSD on Legend of Zelda, bro.
it doesn't pause.
My sons and I go round and round with that, but yes, I think that I definitely actively work to keep them from being addicted. Because
Yeah.
I do think that it's easy, particularly
I
when you're
think
a
it's
teenager.
going to be easier for the coming generations, like your kids and my kid. Well, our kids are, my youngest kid. The other ones, she's already addicted to Skyrim. That's all she plays.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she's got
It's
like
good.
She's literally got 400 or 500 hours into that game. I'm not joking.
Well
She's
done,
been
young
playing it for
Padawan.
years.
Keep
She's
going.
completed the game several times on several different characters.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know why.
Now she knows how to play everything.
And then they came out with the upgraded edition with the better graphics, and I got that, and she's like, oh, I have to start all over. Yay! But I think it's gonna get harder and harder, especially as like we're the politics of the world and the divisions across the world. It's not just our country; it's all over the world. People are.
Oh yeah, totally.
I think part of that has to do with the internet and stuff too. That everybody has their voice out there. Everybody thinks their voice is special, unique, and deserves to be heard, even though probably not always.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a great escape to get away from that, even more than we've already. We do it because it's enjoyable, it's fun, it's cheap entertainment. For them, it's gonna be out of what the fuck, Ready Player One. Like I don't think that's too far off the mark of where some of the future stuff is coming with kids. That's especially these kids that know how to use they know how to use a tablet better than the parents that are handing it off to them, and they're like 2, but they know how
my
that
mom
shit
doesn't even know how to plug in a DVD player.
Okay, I know in Ready Player One, I've read the book, and they actually have kids that can't go to a public school, going to school online. Okay,
Mhm.
See, that's kind of cool.
And we're
They
already not
just
far from
did.
that.
At the beginning of this year at my son's school, they did everyone got to stay at home or in the high school because they all were given, what are those? They're
The
not tablets.
Chromebooks or
The
something.
Chromebooks. And they actually had class during the day while all the kids are at home on their Chromebooks. So really, it is not far off.
Yeah, it
No,
may not
it's
be
not.
VR.
I see. The thing is, when it comes to education, all that, I don't agree with that at all. I believe if someone gives me a University of Phoenix paper and I'm looking at their job application, I'm gonna throw it out, right? I want people to go to the goddamn library and read a damn book.
Good luck.
But a lot of things are going.
Yeah,
to
it is. It's the
online.
way
Yeah,
it's
and I
gonna start
understand that.
going.
And
I don't
it's
like.
great.
I personally don't like that. I just.
Yeah, but
If we had been able to have more support, I think we would have stayed online. I'm not. This experiment into going to public school has largely been
a
a
massive
failure. I think I tolerate it because it's necessary for me to work because I can't be home all the time and I can't afford to be home all the time. But if I could
Right.
suddenly afford to be home all the time, I definitely go back to homeschool.
You'd be one of them homeschool people, and your kids would grow up all they wouldn't know how to talk to other people, because it's not like they would, they can't talk to other people. That's
I
how
will
that works.
say, I went to community college with a girl who was homeschooled. Her first boyfriend in my class ended up being her husband because social skills were gone. So
Oh yeah,
It
but
is a
my
real
kids
thing.
have social. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it comes down to what level of education you are willing to give your kids, and what level of interaction with other people you give your kids. Like mine,
Totally.
they were encouraged to speak to other kids online through, they had kind of like Skype. So they, like my son's first girlfriend was an online girl who lived about an hour and a half away, and they did eventually get to see each other and get to know each other, and it was a growing experience for both of them. So by the time that they went to public school, it wasn't that big of a change. The biggest change was lice. That was fun. Constantly getting sick.
Went right to the lice.
Well, I will agree with Jazz on that.
Yeah,
that is something that, oh my gosh.
That's the worst when that
In
spreads into
elementary,
school.
that we fought that crap all the time.
It was just awful. And
in my day, we
they're
only
sick
had
all
to
the
fight the
time.
asbestos.
Yes, big
I had it in
But
my
I mean,
hair.
online, my kids did spend too much time online because online school and everything else. So in that sense, I would say it's been positive because their time online is less. They're forced to interact. They're forced to go outside and breathe the air more than when I had to stand there and turn off the TV, turn off all their electronics and hold them in my hot little hands with their little Wi-Fi adapters. I just pulled them out.
Yeah.
And say, you don't get these back until you spend 2 hours outside. Goodbye. But overall, I would say that our educational system is going in that direction, like she said, because like at school, they get all their homework on these little notebook things.
Chromebooks, yeah.
Yeah, on these little books, and they do all of their homework on that thing, and they take tests on that, and they do all this
their
other stuff
homework.
on that. So if they're sick, they just do it. And they're already partially homeschooled as it is. So it's really not going to be a big leap for people to stay at home.
Yeah. And that's...
But that increases the chances of addiction to games and things like that because there's lack of interaction.
Yeah,
and people use it as escape.
And I'm not, and I tease about homeschoolers because I know a lot of some of the people that do homeschooling. They are some of the smartest people you'll meet, and if it's done correctly, especially these days because of the internet, a lot of homeschoolers, they actually can meet with other homeschoolers, like they do like a homeschool prom, like so everybody, they may not know each other real well, but they all go out into a prom, they all have a good time. So it's not everybody that's like, I don't know what people is, you know. But some of the other stuff they were talking about this, which is, you guys were already bringing up South Korea. They were saying countries like South Korea, it's been really bad. So much that the government, I heard about this, but they actually introduced a law recently banning access to children under the age of 16 from online games between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m.
Wow.
It's been so bad the government felt that they needed to step in and stop 16-year-olds and under because I guess they're whatever their parents were doing obviously wasn't working. And they legitimately, if I guess whatever your account is, it just cuts you off from all those online games. In Japan, players are alerted if they spend more than a certain amount of time each month playing games. And in China, an internet giant, Tencent, a terrible name, was limited the hours that children can play on its most popular games. I know there was actually a developer here in the States for an online mobile game that they limited, like if your account said that you were a certain age, it would only let you play like 2 hours a day. Like the game developer themselves limited that, that one I'm like, that one's probably not so important because if the parents are handing it off, it's probably because they need the kid to shut up. I mean, am I right, guys? That's proper parent.
How do they monitor that? I mean, because I know, like, you're not supposed to be on Facebook until you're 18, but...
Oh, my kids were.
Yeah, they
mine lied about their day. They lied. But they got my permission.
Yeah.
And I helped them set it up, and I do monitor because you have to have me as a friend.
That's one thing we have.
I, have to keep track of what you're saying. And when they first started, some of you who are on my Facebook probably saw me say to Xander on one occasion, do not post this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've gone on there like when he went on some misogynistic rant about women's rights. He and I just posted, you and I are having a talk tonight. It's all because I was like, nope, that crosses the line.
I too believe that they shouldn't be allowed to vote. I agreed with him. I actually like that one. Take the vote away from the women. Take it all away.
But what I'm saying with parents that don't monitor kids, I mean, because there's a lot of kids out there that have that parent there to monitor them.
Yeah, let's be honest. Some people are just shitty parents. They're just shitty people.
How do they know, okay, you're 13, you're getting cut off?
Well, that's the thing. on some of that stuff, it's, you know, well, in different countries too, they have, you know, I know everybody in America, the net neutrality and the state like that, they think they're really monitored here. But like I was saying earlier, like Australia, the way they ban video games from their country over some of the dumbest things, we're not anywhere close to that. Things like China and South Korea, the way they, you know, the way they lock down their internet, Saudi Arabia and things like that, man, they know. The difference is here they know, here they actually, I wouldn't be surprised that they actually know that here in the States. The difference is they don't act on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I just was curious because, I mean,
Like I
is
wouldn't
really
be surprised that there's an algorithm out there that knows that our, you know, our 15-year-old is playing video games upstairs when he's playing it, and then they've figured out his age just by the stuff that he's done, and you know, if he's
the
And
way
the
he
things that he
talks.
says and the way that he
right,
talks.
or you know, if he's filled out certain
Yeah.
things online, like, you know, and he actually gives his proper age, it's like, oh well, you know, here and here it says he's this old, so, you know, but you know, there's what was that? I forget which of the Middle Eastern countries was it. I don't think it was Saudi Arabia. I think maybe it was Iran. Several years ago when they were having the uprising during the Obama administration, they basically hit the panic button and they shut the internet off for the entire country. They shut off
Yeah.
Facebook, they
Yes.
shut off Instagram, they shut off Twitter.
They're
Everything
doing
was
it again,
shut
by the
off
way.
in the country. Yeah, which given the uprisings they're having now, I'm sure that'll happen again. But there is that kind. There, you know, China had the same thing when there was something going on. They slap the emergency button and it just shuts that stuff off. And you know, North
And
Korea,
of course,
for
then
example.
they just go to the dark web and
Right.
and,
Well, that's
you
the
know,
thing
do it
is with
anyway, but
supposedly with this, like they literally shut off the access. Like you could not access the internet, period. They shut the whole thing down. The whole grid was just gone. You know,
Yeah.
there was no connection even with cell phones or anything. It kind of like what South Korea or North Korea does, you know, that they have that kind of control. Like there's only a handful of outgoing communications. I mean,
it's
shit,
just
they
so
they
scary.
just recently did a phone line to North Korea or South Korea that apparently existed, and they disconnected. That was just a phone. I saw
Yeah,
pictures
Yeah.
of it. It was like a phone from like 1950. It looked like
is.
something out of War Games with Matthew Broderick.
It's located at the DMZ and it's two-way. But yes, they haven't been answering it for years, but they just now did it.
Yeah,
Started again.
yeah, but you know, it's that level. You know, it's hard sometimes. You know, we everyone here worries about it in the States and things like that, but that level of like 1980s control, it exists in the world. We
Oh,
just
yes.
don't always are. You know, we're so. I'll be honest. You know, we're American. We're pretty self-centered when it comes to that stuff. A lot of times, you know, it doesn't because we don't hear about it. You actually have to look pretty deep and really pay attention. Which is why, you know, and again, things like this with the gaming addiction, it's not really just for us here, you know, in America, and it really is a worldwide. It can be a worldwide problem, and it probably doesn't affect
Yes.
as many people as, you know, sensationalist stories, and especially our news media will lead you like millions of people are dying a year due to gaming addiction. It's like, okay, well, probably not, but there have been. You know, there have been deaths and stabbings and things like that, but they're usually almost always over in, you know, South Korea and China,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
you know. So I think overall it's actually going to be a good thing. I mean, anybody that's role played, we already knew this this existed already, you know.
Yep.
There's people as addicted to role play as they are to, you know, gaming.
Oh, definitely.
You know, and if it's not
Yep.
it's not online role play, you know, just the same with the D&D nerds and things like that. There's people that just live for that. That's their escape. That's how they get away from, you know, the crappy world that they might live in.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
And you can't blame them, but yeah.
right.
it's
No, and I
definitely-
don't blame them, you know, but it's at the same thing, you know, the doing anything to the, you know, to the exclusion of all else. You just can't do that. It's not healthy,
No.
and you can't keep going that way.
Balance is important.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Like balancing the fact that I ain't got enough alcohol in me. Bam. No. So,
Uh-huh.
so that's kind of anybody else have anything to add on that? Because that's really all I had. I don't
No,
think
I
it's
think
that
I'm
bad of
good.
a thing.
Yeah, I'm good.
You all good?
I'm good.
Everyone's tired of being here already. Man,
Oh, I had a
took,
good time,
that took
actually.
one
Yeah, me
episode.
too, man.
One episode.
And this has been fun.
It's a really
Yeah.
fun episode.
So
Now we get to do Sib's thing, right?
now we will do Sib's thing, and we'll have
Have to be
have a few things after that. So without further ado, we now go live to Sib down at New Year's.
Hi, it's Sib here, and oh my, I'm so excited for the new year. I'm here in the RPMMORadio headquarters, just waiting for that big flashy ball to drop. I wonder sometimes why they picked a ball. Why not a square? Why not a triangle? You know, I like triangles. They got 3 points. Oh wait, look, who just swaggered in? Ashen!
What's
Hey,
up, bitches?
Quick question,
I'm
Ashen.
wasted!
What do you hope or want to see happen this year in your RP?
In my RP, I hope that, sorry, I hope to, finally come out of the closet and admit how much I really love halflings and their hairy little sausage toes. I just wait, hold on. Wait, is this live?
Yeah. Oh no. Let's move on. Hey, it's one of the new members of our team. He just stepped in. Hello, Kishmas. Welcome, and let's start off with a quick question while we're waiting for that ball to drop. What do you hope or want to see happen in your RP in 2018?
My RP in 2018. Let's see. Not really too much. Just maybe a little bit of nothing. I don't want RP anymore. I quit.
No! No. I can't get on board on that. You have to stick with this. Okay. Let's see. We got a couple more minutes, and let's see. Oh, look, it's Sibh'Bae, our other new member. Good to see you, sir.
Hello, darling.
Now, let me pick your brain real quick. What do you hope or want to see in your RP for this coming year?
RP in 2018, I would like to see myself getting off the sideline and creating all kinds of new RP and hopefully attract back some players that left us for some serious derp.
Show me your boobs!
That sounds good. That sounds real good. Except for the show me your boob part.
Yeah,
Ashen.
you never know what Ashton's going to do. You give him
I know.
alcohol.
Okay, 1 minute to go. And now the best for last. The one, the only. We love her. I know you do too. Our Jazz. Mwah.
Mwah.
And I just have one thing to ask, dear Jazz.
Yes.
As we close out 2017, what do you hope or want to see happen in your RP this new year?
I would like to see my guild's RP as a whole, the scope of it for the theme of our guild, have more to do and to involve more people and to be more interesting and fun.
Hear, hear. I second that.
Yes.
No thanks.
Show me your toes! I want to see them toes!
Oh boy.
Then we found out that Ashton had a furry foot fetish all along.
That is terrifying. And no, my feet aren't furry.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I don't know. Let's take a look.
Okay, this just went creepy. But as for me, I want to have more fun, which I've had fun last year, but I want to have more fun this year. Meet new RP friends, enjoy the friends I do have more, be able to be in game a lot more this year. So that's my goal or my hope, my want. I want it. I'm going to make it happen.
You go,
And
girl.
I am. But okay, here we go. 5, 4,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
Happy 2018,
Happy
everybody.
Happy 218!
From RPMMO Radio headquarters.
Yes!
Yeah.
I'm the cheese lover. I'm sorry.
She loves the cheese. That was fun though.
Nice.
All right. Well, yeah, we really do hope everybody has a good next year, and your role play goes. Yeah, honestly, I hope it doesn't go the way you hope, and I hope it turns out better than you thought it would.
Yeah.
So
Not a bad clip there.
no. So again, we appreciate everybody tuning in. If you want, go ahead, visit us at RPMMORadio.com and do a /Discord if you want to join our Discord server. Call us in live. I do have a few last-minute little things here. One of them is Mikey from rphq.org. His series called Elder Scrolls Spotlight has gotten to me. The third episode is an interview I did with him. It was a lot of fun, really great. Mikey's in the chat.
Woohoo!
He's actually going to be doing them. He does it usually every 2 weeks, but for the three of us, at the time we didn't know there were two more. So hey, Mikey, there might be two more people you can interview if you want to. Excuse me. He's going to actually be releasing them weekly. The third episode came out, I forget what day last week. So there'll be another one coming up, or this week. Yeah, I think it was this week. So there'll be another one coming out next week, and I don't know whose that was going to be, if it was Jazz or Sib, and then whoever they didn't do for the third one will be the week after that. So it'll be bam, bam, bam. Monday. He says Monday. So look for that on Monday. You can go to rphq.com to see that. It's on YouTube, or you can go to YouTube and look up RPHQ. It'll be right there. It was a lot of fun. It was,
It was.
it was really, really enjoyable, and I was really honored to have anybody actually give a shit about what I think, just like I am for anybody you here who gives a shit what any of the five of us think. Hopefully you learn a few things while you're with us. The other one is something I wanted to read because I suck at apparently checking up on things. It's an Apple podcast review we got all the way back from November 6th because I don't check Apple as often as I apparently should be. From
Naughty.
I'm sorry, dude. Loctiazo, Loketiazo, Loctiazo. I'm going to go with that. He has said it was very interesting perspectives for someone who does not roleplay, very informative for someone planning on roleplay, choppy first episode, which is an understatement, but they make up for it. Main host has an amazing voice, one of the top 3 voices in podcast, if you ask me. Which, if you've listened to the show,
Feed his ego.
you know where that joke is heading, and I don't know that I don't know that he actually meant it.
I suspect that's shameless self-promotion, sir.
No, actually, go look up our show on Apple iTunes or Apple Podcast or iTunes. It will be there, and it is written exactly as he did it.
Well, this time I should believe you.
Yes.
Let's all go rate ourselves. Let's go put up some.
Let's
6.9 out of 10.
Right.
Yo.
It's actually a 5-star thing, so that would be
We're only getting the 9 because Ashen's in the show.
But we've only actually gotten one review, and every review that gets on Apple for us, even if you just click the stars and rate us on that, it helps. It helps get our show towards other podcasts. Right now, if you search certain games and stuff, we don't come up. If you search MMO or MMORPG, it does. Roleplay, we're kind of on there, but it depends on how you put it. But the more reviews we get on Apple Podcasts, which is unfortunately the only place you actually review a podcast. You can't do it on Google Play or Stitcher. Podbean, you can leave comments and stuff like that, but it doesn't make a difference on how the algorithms work. On Apple, it makes a huge difference, even if they're negative. If you don't entirely like us, and you really want to let people know, go ahead. I'm willing to let it do it because even a negative review is better than nothing. So for everybody out there listening, if you could, we would really, really appreciate that. And as you saw, good or bad, I'll read it here. So I don't really care what it says. It could be totally honest and
if you request, he'll read it in a voice you like.
Yeah, I will. I'll read it however you want me to. If I'm able to do it. If not, I'll fake it till I make it. The other thing is, we're looking. I want to try to get us to affiliate status on Twitch, but to do that, we actually have to have 50 subscribers. which we're not quite to yet. I forget how many we have, 35 right now. So we need 15 more, and it'll allow us to do a few more things on Twitch that we can't do right now. So if you like to, you like what you hear, go ahead and give us a like or a little heart. The subscription thing is not something we're able to do. That's part of actually what the affiliate thing does. So just give us a like. If you do that there, we'd appreciate that. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/RPMMORadio. Our Instagram is also RPMMORadio. I plan on doing actually a few more things with that, including today, if anybody is already there, our little introduction, which featured Antonia Bale promoting our show. Well, I'll just have to make
Bill O'Brien.
If you want to go there, you'll have to hear that. Yeah, and I hope everybody liked the new intro. It was a lot of fun to make. Angry Bill O'Reilly is the best
We'll
Bill
do it
O'Reilly.
live.
We'll do it live. I don't give a fuck. We'll do it live.
All right, we'll do it live.
Good times.
But yeah, we appreciate everybody that listens to the share, likes, and subscribes thing. I know it's annoying, and I know everybody asks it, but it really, really does help, and it really lets us know what we can start doing more of. Any feedback we get, if there's something you like, if there's something you think we might be able to do better, we'll at least take it into consideration. I'm not promising anything. But we appreciate all of that. And let's see, thank you for I can't read that, but whoever just subscribed, appreciate that. Can't read it for some reason. Logo something 11. 111. So yeah, all that stuff. Of course, if you want to throw some money our way, we would appreciate that. It'll help us keep the show quality going, keep it on going. We're going to do it regardless, I'll be honest with you. But there's a lot of things I'd like to do that require money, but unfortunately we have other stuff too, and things that have to be bought. Like, I need a new Switch. Frankly, that's going to be my Christmas gift to myself. This is completely unrelated to the show. I just got a lot of Christmas money, and I'm looking to get a Switch. But this won't go to that, because this will always go to the show.
Good to know.
Yes. Hey, the Switch is awesome. I want to play Zelda. But yes, please like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. You can contact us at rpmmmoradio@gmail.com if you want to throw us a question. If you ever want to ask us something, you can ask us on the Discord. If you want it to be private, but you want to hear what the answer would be on the show, you can email it to us, and I'll keep, if you tell me you want to keep it anonymous and you have an actual question that's, maybe you would feel uncomfortable, like if the people you're role-playing with found out it was you, but it's your situation you need help with, we are more than happy to help with that. We'll do everything we can, give you the best advice we are possibly able to give you. And Twitter at RPMMORadio, and of course, like I said, twitch.tv/RPMMORadio. And anybody else got any last minute thingies that you want to get out?
I'm good.
Good, because I didn't want to
I did
hear
my
it anyway.
cheese for the night.
All right, so on behalf, I am Ashen Phoenix, Jazz, Sib, Kishmas, and Strophe. This is RPMMO Radio. Tune in next time when we'll go over halflings and why only horrible people would RPM. Why is that there? That's not what you did. Sib wrote me up something, but I don't think that was it.
It's fake news.
Fake news. Everything's
Totally
fake news. This is fake news.
What?
This is
Alternative facts.
alternative RPMMO radios. So visit us next time when we'll go into why the toes of halflings are so very sexy. Next time on RPMMO Radio. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Night, folks.
Night.
The thoughts and opinions of those on RPMMO Radio are just that and should not be taken as the gospel truth, but pretty close to it. Music, as always, is provided by Husky by the Geek. Visit him at youtube.com/HuskyByTheGeek to visit all his great rock covers and original rock albums.